Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. I blog over at thefrugalcottage.com all about budgeting, money saving, investing and lots of things in between. Today's video is a little budget update for you. It is week 2 of April that's just gone by, and a bit of an update on how I feel about our finances, but also the fact that I'm missing my cash envelopes, but I'll get into that in more detail in a minute. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always check out the links below. So this is my budget planner, and this is available on my site. This is a thing I use to track our expenses every month. I find it really helpful to use to track it, but however you feel it, whether it's pen and paper, spreadsheet, an app, whatever, do recommend tracking your expenses so that you can know what's happening with your finances. So this is the overview, this is our bills page, calendar. Not a lot goes in there really. I will turn over. So I've not added anything to sinking funds. I can't really decide what to do with those. I'm adding more to our emergency fund, but sinking funds are kind of just sat. I don't really know what to do with those, so I'll leave those for now. So no spend days, so I'm aiming for 20, which given that I'm not leaving the house should be easy. However, I made the decision to have spend days when my husband does any kind of food shopping, because that would normally be me, but he's now doing that instead because I'm not leaving the house. So when he goes to the supermarket and does some food shopping, I'm counting that as a spend, which is why that looks a bit different to maybe it should do. So as you can see, I've had 7 no spend days so far. Looking at this at the moment, Thursday seems to be a bit of a trend for spending. We normally do our food shop on a Sunday, but today the supermarkets are closed because it is Easter Sunday, and happy Easter if you celebrate that. So we did our food shop yesterday, so today actually will be a no spend day as well. It's looking okay, I'm okay with that. I don't think the week ahead will have any surprises. I think it will just be the same as it has been so far. Does anyone feel like they're spending more in certain areas of their budget and not in others? I was talking to someone about this yesterday. We're definitely spending more on food, and that's because we're at home all the time. So like, I normally be at work, the boys would either be at school, school or nursery, and we wouldn't be at home so much, and they wouldn't be eating at home. We wouldn't be eating at home as much as we are doing. So we're definitely spending more in our food budget, as you'll see in a second, but things like the children's budget hasn't even been touched yet. Petrol is really far down because we're not using the car nearly as much. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, I suppose, but we are definitely spending more on food. Please tell me I'm not alone in that. There must be other people who are finding that. Because I don't know about you, but my children ask for a snack every 5 seconds, it feels like. And although I am pretty good at saying no when we have our bit of routine of when snack time is, it's pretty constant. And I'm sure they don't eat like that when they're at school. Well, I know they don't. So anyway, so that's the no spend days. I'm hoping, so today's also one. I think I don't see us spending any money today. And I'm hoping that for the kind of the week ahead, probably 4 or 5 of those will be no spend days as well. Just because we're not doing anything or going anywhere. See that as a silver lining to this situation if you want to. Turning over, so this is my expense tracker. You can see that I use colour coding for this. That's a good visual representation. As you can see, the food and miscellaneous ones are the ones that we keep spending on. Food is because we still, up where we live, still can't get hold of some things, so we're having to go, I say we, my husband is having to go more often to try and get things that we would normally be able to just buy off the shelves. Does that make sense? So we really struggle to get like fresh stuff in the past week, so that's why he went to Asda as well. And also because the supermarket is shut today, he did the food shop yesterday and Saturday, so in a minute it looks like we spent like a stupid amount on food this week for us, but it's because it's 2 weeks together really, because it would have normally been today. So I'm just saying that before I turn the page, because I know how much it looks in comparison. Miscellaneous things at the moment are things so like nappies, because we've still got a child in those, wipes, cleaning stuff for the house, although we're not going mad with that, don't we? it's just, yeah, it's just a bit of an odd situation, I suppose. We've spent more than I would have liked by this point in the month, which seems strange considering that we're not going anywhere. But I guess that's just how it might be for the moment. So turning over for these. Don't forget you can download this if you want to, I'll leave a link below. So the weekly check-in. So I'm going to try and zoom in, but my camera sometimes does not like this at all, so I apologise if it kind of goes a bit weird for a second. So you can see there the food budget, £127.62. That is much more than we'd normally spend in food in a week, but it is 2 weeks combined. So if that was to be split in two, it wouldn't be quite so bad. And that leaves us with £150 remaining for the next 2 weeks of April, which should be doable. It should be, as long as we can kind of get the stuff we want, and we are having to buy more branded things because the non-branded stuff isn't available, which obviously does work out more expensive, but we'll see how that goes. I did increase the food budget as well, so I really don't want to go over it if we can help it, but we'll see. Miscellaneous there, £18.27, that's a fairly normal week really for that. It leaves us £80 in there. And then petrol, so the first spend for petrol this week, £30. That should last us quite a while because, like I said, we're really not using the car as much as we were before. I'm not going to work, and I drive about 50 miles a day to get to work, for example, so obviously I'm not doing that, so therefore I'm not using that petrol. So that leaves us £70 left. I did reduce the petrol budget because we're just going to go nowhere near it. And then the children's budget for the second kind of week running, we've not touched that, so they've still got £100 in their pot, so to speak. And unless they suddenly need clothes or shoes, although we can't get their feet measured, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think that their budget will still be intact. Unless they need clothes, but I don't think they do. Unless they have a really bad timed growth spurt, hey, which might happen I suppose. I can't see us spending their budget this month. Don't get me wrong, I wish we were going places and I wish we were spending that, but we're just not, we're just in the garden. We might end up buying some more things, little things for the garden, because being at home all the time, they're getting bored by the things we have already, so we'll see how that goes. But that's it for the budget. Like I said, the food budget seems to be going down really quickly, but well, because we're all at home, so we're eating more at home. So like my 4-year-old who goes to school normally gets lunches at school, because in England, in the Fame reception and year 1 I think it is, they get their school meals provided for them regardless of income, for example. So obviously even just him alone, he's eating more because he's at home. Things like that, and over a week, you know, added in the snacks and things, it does add up more, and we're just eating more. I mean, there's no two ways about that. But we'll see how that goes. And then there's nothing else to show in here. I've not written anything on there. What's next? Not made any extra income. That's things like selling on eBay or Facebook or things like that, and I haven't done any of that. I don't really know if I would feel comfortable about posting things to other people at the moment. So no, I haven't done any of that. And savings wise, that's just the end of the month that I do that in. So that's my April update for week 2. It's looking okay. I'll zoom back out a bit. It's looking okay. I'm just finding the situation really odd, and I'm missing using my cash envelopes. And I'm missing going food shopping. I'm not going to lie, my husband definitely buys more when he goes. He definitely buys more things than I would, and it kind of shows. But I just miss the routine of doing that, and I miss filming my cash envelope videos on a Sunday. I miss using that. I think it makes the budget easier to stick to. But you know, I hope we're all staying safe at home, and I hope you're doing okay. Let me know how your budget's going. Are you spending more or less? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.